Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Hey, we are gonna put on one of the Can-Am pre-runner bumpers on the front of the Can-Am today. The reason I got this bumper, it does have an attachment on the back to run a winch. The winch that I picked was a cheap $150 winch from actually Menards, I believe. The tool place. Harbor Freight sells these also. I actually did reviews on them and people are saying they actually work very well. Guys had them for 2-3 years on their side by side, and then also I believe you can buy an extended warranty from Harbor Freight and it's lifetime. So for $200, you know, if it works for 2 years and a Warn works for 4, I just, you know, big deal. So we're gonna actually put that on here. It comes with the plate, the switch here, all your electrical cable. So I think that's the way to go instead of spending $400 or $500 on a winch. It's still 4,500 pounds. All I'm really gonna use for it, honestly, I don't know if I'm recording yet. Yep. The only thing I'm gonna use for it, honestly, is for the snowplow. So, and then if I get stuck, but I usually don't go in very deep mud with this thing anyway. So here is the pre-runner bumper. You get the front shield here, there's your hardware, and this thing is a freaking tank. I mean, it's a monster. So I don't know how much of this I have to take off, so we're gonna do it together, figure it out. And I got some cheap LED lights that I'm gonna put up front. It has light holders there on the front. Get that winch in there somewhere. I have no idea how to do it, so we're gonna figure it out. All right, let's get started. Okay, first guys, we're gonna have to take out these T30s. There's one on each side and then 2 in the middle and then 2 down below here in the center. Take those T30s out, and then here, there, and there are rivets that are gonna have to be drilled out. So get out your drill bits, make sure they're sharp, and we gotta drill these out here. All right, guys, got to take off this front clip here. There's a screw on each side. So they're same on each side. One underneath the fuel door. You're going to have 2, one right here, one right here underneath. A T20 right behind your post on your lights. Then you're going to have to unhook your lights. And then up in front, of course, these two bolts here, you can take these out. I know I didn't have to, so, but these two right here underneath your hood, and then the same on the other side. All right, this hole here, right underneath here, and then right behind your post, your T20, unhook your lights. And then we have to take these off here. And these have clips underneath. Be careful because the clips will fall out. There you can see the clip sitting in there. Clip just fell on the floor. But I'm gonna lay down the camera here so I can actually, oh, maybe, yeah, I'm gonna lay down the camera here so I can get it off. But once you have all these off, that front clip will come completely off. There it is, guys. As soon as you unbracket these right here on the sides, it comes with, you don't have to take them all the way off. See that here? They actually come with. So all you have to do is detach this from that side. Grab this right in here and just pull off. Make sure your lights are unhooked, like I said. You have two of them. You have one for your main headlights, and then you have one for your daytime running lights here. Daytime running lights, and then your main headlights. So now we're going to be able to take this off here. This needs to be removed, and that will take place of it. All right, guys, we're going to have to take out your 10mm radiator bolts. There's going to be one on each on the back here, and then two on the top. Move this out of the way, get this plastic piece out in order to get underneath here to get to those 18mm bolts. There's two 18mm bolts here, two on the top, and then your little 10mm bolts on each end. All right, guys, while you're in here, good time to grease. You have just barely enough room when you lift this up to get to those top two bolts. I'm not gonna lie to you, it sucks, but if I can get it, guys, you can get it. I got bolts all over hell. It's gonna be putting it together is not gonna be fun because I got shit scattered everywhere. And then the dog is in here. Who knows what he ran off with, little shit. So, okay, so since we got that off, I gotta mount the winch, I suppose, in this new one. Get that thrown up in there. It's a chore. It's a chore. Okay, so I'll get the mount in there. I'm gonna show you guys. This winch actually is pretty freaking nice. I was figuring it would have steel cables, but it's not. It's actually a rope. So it's a real nice winch. I'm impressed. So let's get that mounted out in there. I unboxed this winch and we got a problem. From center of the hole to center of the hole is 5 inches. From center hole to center hole is 6.5 inches. So this winch will not fit inside this bumper. Why? I don't know. I just called a couple bike places around here to see if they got a winch on hand. They're gonna call me back. So yeah, from here to here is 6.5 inches. So this winch will not even mount up in here. And then the rope guide does not fit either. This is about 4 inches. This is about 4.5 inches. So this won't even mount in there. It's not even close. So much for trying to save money, and what you're really supposed to do is use this plate to hold that, but that wouldn't work. So damn it. And my dilemma is I'm going riding this weekend and I really don't want to tear the whole front end apart and not put this bumper in, but I don't want to tear the whole front end apart, put this bumper in, go for a ride, and then come back, tear the whole front end apart and put a winch in it for the winter. Great. So we're going to figure this out. All right, guys, this is what I ended up getting at the local KTM dealer. Well, they're not KTM anymore, and they're not Arctic Cat anymore. It's probably why they were selling these. They are, let's see if I can get this. you can see that or not. $859. He sold it to me for $500 because he does no longer carry the Arctic Cat brand. So I got a 4,000 pound Wildcat winch. Big deal, it says Arctic Cat on it. You can definitely tell the difference. Now, I didn't pay $800 for this. I spent $500, but for the $300 upgrade from that to that, I'm going to tell you what. Look at these connections. Look at this wiring harness. I mean, that's something. Let's see what else we got in here. Wireless. I believe this is a wireless remote. I think. I don't know. We're going to find out. See what else is in here. That looks like a CDI box. It ain't though. I don't know what that is. Might be for the wireless remote. Synthetic cable. So definitely an upgrade from what I was going to put in there. Now guys, just remember, when you buy a pre-runner bumper, you have to have 6.5 inches from bolt hole to bolt hole. This one was 5.5. Look at the difference. Hell of a difference there. So I got to put that back in the box yet. So we're going to get this bolted up. I'm pretty happy with it, especially with the price that I got. What else is in here? Boy, I hope this thing has instructions. I imagine this actually hooks up into the actual Arctic Cat. Since it's not going in an Arctic Cat, I'm probably going to have to do some finagling. This must be for the wireless remote. So anyway, we're going to play with it later. All right. We got the bumper mounted, just the 4 bolts. We're going to put the radiator back in place with the 4 silver bolts here, or the gold bolts. As soon as we get those on, it's pretty much just reverse of what we did, turn it apart, of course. I'm going to put the fairing back on, or the front splitter back on, whatever you want to call it, front bumper, and then hook up the lights, and we're done. So we're going to work on that here. And then before I put on the front plastic, I'm going to wire everything for the winch and the headlights. All right, I'm starting to get the wire ran, positive and negative, coming through here into the firewall. Of course, I had to tear out the seat. I don't know where my flashlight is, but I'm going to have to, of course, I'm using Arctic Cat wiring. So I'm going to have to use different methods to hook stuff up. It's just not going to be a plug and play like it would be in an Arctic Cat. So I got a hole cut there for my in and out for the winch. And then also I'll have the remote controlled one. I have to mount the solenoid, hook this into the solenoid, hook all my wires that are going to run the in-out button and the wireless into the solenoid also. So not too hard, guys. I actually grabbed a wiring diagram off of the internet to follow, so that's what I'm following really. And then once I'm done with all that, have to put on the shield and the front plastic here, and we are done. So it's not an easy project. Probably going to take me another 2 hours, so probably altogether 4 or 5 hours. It's not a very quick thing, and I haven't done it before. That's the first time taking off that front plastic, so that took me a little bit. So, but we'll get her here. Well, I got it all wired up. I have the wireless remote, which is going to be pretty nice. Really, from the bottom here, your yellow goes into the yellow on that box. It has a yellow dot on it. Your blue goes into your blue dot. The red goes into your power, onto the red dot. Black goes into your negative, or your, and on the black dot. And then the other ones are color coordinated also. And put my switch in. And then I just shove the boxes underneath here. They're so tight in there that they're not gonna bounce around. So pretty simple. I went from this junction box here. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's pretty dark and my flashlight's dead, I think. Yeah, it's dead. So, but tomorrow, I'm done for the night, but tomorrow I'm gonna get the front plastic on and should be done. See what this looks like. I was gonna mount some lights in the front, but I don't have no light brackets, so that's gonna have to be another time. Actually, all I'm gonna do, I think, is just run my power negative to my headlights. Just scotch lock them in there. So, but yeah, about done, guys. Right now, I don't think it looks too bad. It matches the other. Now, when they say Can-Am red, it's orange. I would not call that red in any way, shape, or form, but I think it'll look nice once I get the skid plate on and everything. So, but we'll get that done tomorrow, guys. All right, we are installing some lights. I got some Rough Country. They're $100. They're kicking out 4,500 looms. So honestly, they're the same power as Rigid, and people are saying they're amazing lights. So we're gonna run some RC lights on here. They're real easy. These bumpers, they bolt on. It's all quick connect here. Pretty much you run the wire into the side-by-side. It has a wire with a switch on it and a positive and negative. So I mean, that's self-explanatory. You hook positive and negative up, and you run your switch to wherever you want it. They give you a round switch. They give you a switch like this. You can just drill a hole and put that in if you want. I'm gonna run a stock switch. They're a little bit difficult to wire up if you're gonna want lights to it when you hit it and the light deal actually lights up. Not that hard. So we're gonna get that mounted up. Those mounted up, and then I also got, I was planning on going there and spending like $400 on Rigid lights until I saw these for 100, and the guy just raved about them. They run 50 watts, 2,400 looms. They're 2.5 inch square. So I also picked up these, Rigid makes these little spotlights. They're $65, which doesn't sound cheap for one little tiny spotlight. These things kick out 1,000 looms. Just a positive and negative. I'm actually gonna, I was thinking that would be a really nice place, or a really nice light just to have for a reverse light. The only bad thing, these are spotlights, so these are for actually high speed. I would want more of a diffuser or a flood back here if I was going to run these for reverse lights. So I'm going to mount these up front. The really cool thing about these is that you can mount these on a GoPro mount. So pretty much anywhere that I can think of, I can put, I mean, I got a GoPro mount right here. I could mount that right there if I wanted to. So this is the really neat thing about these little lights. I mean, 1,000 looms, you spend $125, you got you got 4,000 looms, and all you have to do is put them on GoPro mounts wherever you want on the machine. And they don't take up any space. They're very easy to wire. I mean, 120 bucks for 4,000 looms. That's pretty cool. On this bumper here, for this bottom plastic, since you've gotten rid of your guard here, you don't have a place to screw these in. I'm guessing that's what these are for, and I just don't know how they bolt up here. Yep, underneath this radiator bolt. Underneath this radiator bolt, this bracket's going to go, and then it's going to go right in here. And then they also supplied some hardware here to put in them. So I got to take that back apart to be able to screw that down. All right, I got that bracket on that one side. I got to get that bracket on this side here. And then I have 10 more bolts to put in, 2 of them being T20s, remember. And then hook your headlights up and you're done. Putting this in, you're gonna have to find all your clips and stuff that fell on the ground. I got clips all over. Dog probably carried half of them away. But also, when you put on your bumper here, it's a good idea to get new lock washers. Those are the bolts that actually hold in your front A-arms. Some guys don't. I did not, and then I realized that this kit actually came with new bolts. So I was just started using the old ones. Now I remember. Now I seen that there are brand new lock washer or lock bolts in there. So remember to use them. They also come with an assortment of washers and stuff like that. I just reused all the factory stuff. So I'm gonna get this put back in, run these cables, looks like just through the grill, and hook these up into the wiring harness for the front lights. I got these loose yet. I kind of want to wait until nighttime so I can set where I want them. The top ones I kind of got set where I want them, so I just got to set these where I want. As far as those little rigid spotlights, I don't know yet where I'm going to put them. I think I might just mount them down here or up here somewhere. I really don't know. I don't have another GoPro mount. It doesn't take just the flat mount that you push them into. It actually takes the top mount that you put the screw in. So I use my GoPros pretty often, so I'm not gonna use them right now. I'll just have to order some new ones and then figure out where I want to put them. All they are is a positive and negative wire. So what I'm going to do is go into a positive and negative wire in my wiring harness to the headlight, so that once you turn the headlights on, those will actually turn on also. So I don't need to put them on a switch or anything. I'm already got 4, 5, 6, 7 switches in this thing already, so I don't need to put 2 more just for. And actually, I'm going to have another switch in this because eventually I will want to put rear lights in. So, but we're going to get this all tidied up and done here, and then we'll call her good. Well, guys, there it is. It took, boy, all of 4 or 5 hours. It's not an easy job putting in the winch and everything, but now we have a winch and a good bumper and some front running lights. Cost, I got the Warn winch with wireless remote for about half the price. They're like $840. I got them for $500. I was gonna go rigid lights, but I went for RC lights, which is rough country lights. Pulling out the same looms. The wiring harness is really nice. The lights look really nice. The mounting brackets are awesome. As long as they hold up for $109, sold over what rigid cost. That would have cost me anywhere from $200 to $500. depending on what I wanted. Front bumper was 400 and some, so was not a cheap project, but in order to plow some snow this winter, the bumper and the winch were necessary, was something that I had to put on. I could have went cheap, yes, but it's kind of nice not to just get a bracket, but to actually get a bumper along with it. So, and then the lights were just something that I've kind of wanted on the front end. And it will be nice plowing snow with those on the front end too. They look real good. Bumper looks real good. I'm glad I didn't go black. I was going to get black, but it looks good to me. So next, I would like bigger tires, bigger rims, a little bit more of an offset. Or we might do some engine mods, do some Evolution or Evo tunes or something like that. Different wastegate and stuff. So we'll see what happens here in the next 6 months. So we're gonna go up to Wisconsin this weekend, ride some trails. Me and John Streets is going. He had a Kawasaki something or other for a long time, and he just traded that in and got a Can-Am. I think he's real happy with it. It's not an X3, but it's a Can-Am Maverick, and I think the speed he's really happy with. I think he's hitting 80 miles an hour on the suspension he loves. Just a huge upgrade from that Kawasaki 4x4 or 4-seater that he had. It was loud. It could only go about 55 miles an hour. So he's real happy. He's going to enjoy this weekend. So I'm going to take him up there, ride a trail that I've already rode. Actually, a little bit more than I've already rode. We're going to go from, I forget the name of the place, all the way up to that waterfall that I saw and I had in a previous video. But it's going to be about, I want to say about a 200-mile run. So it's going to be a good time. It's just going to be me and him. We're going to have our helmets on, so we're going to be able to communicate back and forth on the Sena headsets. I don't know if I can run the Sena headset and also collect it on a GoPro as we talk or not, but I don't think that's possible. I think once you're linked up, I don't think you can also be linked up into the GoPro, but I'll sure try. So we're going to get some footage of that and have a good time there. So I'll see you guys shortly. Hey guys, before I run off on you, I want to show you where I did put these Rigid Industries. I put the Rigid Industries right there on the front. I did not use a GoPro mount. I actually used the hardware that they were with and put them in the old holes on the plastic here. It is a little flimsy, but I don't think it's going to rattle too much. I got them real tight. They're a Spotlight. They do make two other kinds. They make a Flood, I believe, and then I forget what they call it, an even bigger spread than a Flood. So I was thinking I might, if I do get two more, which I probably just get one more, they're $65 a piece, so I don't want to spend a bunch of money. I'm going to mount one on the back so when I'm in reverse I can see, because there's the only way to see out of a X3 to begin with is you need some mirrors. So I don't even have mirrors yet. You can't really see through the back. You guys look through here, there's not much to see. So, and then the ass end is up in the air, so you don't see nothing. I'm just gonna get one, I think, so when I'm reversing, plowing snow or in the woods, I hook these up right into the harness for the main light. Positive, the positive, and then negative, the negative. So when I turn on my headlights, which I can do for you guys here, when I turn on the one headlight, all I'm getting is my running lights. And then when I put on actually my high beams is when I also get the Rigid Industry lights. They are 1,000 looms a piece, so there's 2,000 looms plus your factory headlights. Then if I hit my other switch here, I get the running lights that I'm going to use to plow snow and also in the woods. And then one more here, which is over here. Are my top lights. So just those two, and the bottom is, I don't know if they're 4,500 a piece. I'm going to say they're for both, so 4,500 lumens there, and then the 2,000 for each one of those rigids. So there's, 6,500 looms plus whatever's on top from your headlights. I got plenty of light. So I just wanted to show you guys that before I ran off on you. I am now packing for up north to go into Wisconsin. So why don't you guys subscribe, and you'll also get know when those videos come out, so you can see what goes on this weekend. It's going to be a pretty good fun ride. We've already made a decision we will do some night riding. We're going to get up there about 10 o'clock at night on Friday, and I don't think we're going to do any riding that day. Probably just get some sleep, wake up early, do the 200 miler, wait, get some dinner, and then go for a night ride. So, but you guys have a great weekend. I know I will up north, so I'll talk to you guys later.